welcome to the Magic of Boots latest edition, which is 44th edition. Ronnie here. I have Shudipta. Shudipta, how are you?
So good. Actually, uh, I don't know. So many things happening. Also, there are some interesting matches as well. And finally, European football has started.
Yeah,
So
yeah. We try to talk about La Liga and others, French League and Bundesliga last week. So
yeah,
we want to capture a little bit of EPL, English Premier
yeah,
League, and also a little bit of Serie A, and then hopefully, if we have time, then we'll jump into some of the Champions League actions. Um, English Premier League. Let's start over there. Any particular game or any particular team's progression that we want to talk?
um, well, actually, Merseyside derby was interesting. Uh,
Always been.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
yeah,
All.
but you know, it's sort of expected, like how Everton played last season and with under the same manager, especially the last tier game of this fixture, um, and how good Gordon was. Wow, again. But there are some other interesting matches as well, for example, mm, Brentford like 5-2 against Leeds.
Yeah.
um, City and Aston Villa. It was like sort of installment, and Brighton Leicester 5-2, and obviously United ends the invincibility of Arsenal. So it was also a fun
Good
game
game.
actually. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like sort of well, as well, really technical game, like how we can start from there actually, like it is
Okay. Why not?
something.
Why not? Do you have anything ready?
No, not really. Let me check the whiteboard, you mean?
Well, it's up to you. I mean, we can just talk about it.
uh, yeah, we can just talk, like nothing. Well, let me prepare it, like in case if we need.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, there are some players missing actually, from Arsenal's point of view, but it, like going deep in a season, it's sort of normal. Like
Yeah.
all you won't get the same starting 11, and Arsenal were desperately looking for a central midfielder in the on the deadline day, because of some injuries, and only probably Lokanga was played, and with Granit Xhaka, and who else was there? And Odegaard was there, but there was a sort of like a um, doubt about him for that match. But other than that, it was the full team, yeah, full force was like played. But like what I thought, that like the quality of midfield in Manchester United is like way it's actually overpowered Arsenal in that match, because like what Ten Hag like geniusly did, and is that like closing the gaps between the players, so that like they won't actually move as fluid as they can. Like Arsenal couldn't move much, even though they had like position probably like 70% probably.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
around this number, or 60 something. So yeah, and the main problem was that like like they were sort of like a 2-3-5 build up, and actually without space it's like really hard to move. um, like, and also like Arsenal was not that clinical that we have seen. There were some chances, like half chances and stuff like that, and it did not went in for some reason. Or there was also like a controversy with a goal. Have you watched it?
Yep, I did.
what, what do you think?
Uh, well, Arsenal actually dominated. Arsenal dominated the game. In patches, they were really good. I mean, it's odd that I'm saying a team that defeated 3-1 in the final scoreline actually dominated.
Mm,
Arsenal were really good. I think the passing, the distribution started, the attack, there was flow, they were on shape to start with. I think where things got wrong is that 1-1 during the 1-1 period, Arsenal went to attacking. There were
yeah,
no shapes at all, and
yeah,
if they have seen a little bit of Ten Hag's Man United win versus Southampton and also against Leicester, they
mhm,
were just direct and counter attacking. So they were out of shape, and obviously there is a guy called Ericsson who is very
mhm.
good at picking players and picking the passes, and also Bruno Fernandes. There's a bit of um, in Man United team. I always thought there was a bit of lack of creativity in certain part. Now they have certain players who can pass the ball around, and there are really good quick runners to run. So I thought Ten Hag was smart. They were patient, and Arsenal were a little bit of impatient. I mean,
Yeah,
minute 70 or something, they were like going out attacking United in a way
all
that
out
yeah,
attacking
it
United.
was almost
Yeah,
like 92nd minute, or the injury time or something.
yeah, sort of like that.
So I think the game management wise, it was a little bit disparate on Arsenal side, but Kuro that played a part. I think that was well taken by Man United.
Yeah, that's true. And since Bruno Fernandes arrived, and he is the most creative player in the Premier League. If you know, like he created more assists than any other players since he arrived. And what interesting is that like Ericsson was finding probably Fernandez in his sleep or something like that in that match. Even like they have sort of like a
Fantastic
chemistry.
connections.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like this chemistry is growing. And there's no doubt like the quality of players, but that is the thing Arsenal is missing right now. Something creative from the midfield. Granit Xhaka was like a sort of like a moving like a like he cannot make those sort of passes.
No.
Probably
Yeah.
Partey was switching and missing actually. El Neni was doing okay, and then he also got injured, and Lokanga is playing, and is sort of like and playing a big teenager in this sort of like a big matches.
Mm.
It's like well, he played well, but the thing is that like it's also like what you said, like when they were out of shape, they weren't actually last 20 minutes, they weren't in the game. But before that, like it was it was entertaining. Like also like the United actually could have scored more
Yep.
in a sense. But from United's point of view, like what they have, they could not actually like play from the back like Arsenal did. So they use their strength, and it's fair to say that they win at the end. Like at the end of the day, the team who how can I say, score more goals than the opponent, that wins. And that's another part. Like Arsenal played a little bit one-dimensional in the second half. They could have actually switched it, because we have seen Arsenal playing different types of football in the previous matches. I don't know if it's because of personals in the team,
They
that team.
never really dragged United players out of position ever.
Yeah, yeah. This is the thing they did actually for against probably Aston Villa sometimes, and sometimes with other team, like they drag sometimes, like played in the back and drag attention and just try to lure the player towards them and then skip over them. They did not do that actually much, once or twice or something like that in the beginning. But in the second half, they are like more like they have beliefs, like they can turn this thing
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
But with the loss of the shape after the 1-1,
Yeah.
it was hard to do, like hard to get back in the game. And
And why it's a bad result in Old Trafford, 1-1. Even I understand Arsenal are a better better team technically. I cannot even say that probably, but they were playing better football. Why draw was not enough? They went for kill.
yeah,
Uh, uh,
but they could have actually do it like after 10 more minutes later probably, because the thing is working. They have already like a disallowed goal, and also like they scored one, so that means like there are holes on the team. So that doesn't mean like you have to trust the process. That's why actually Arteta got it wrong. He did not trust his process, and he did not actually um,
I want to
live
see
up to
see
his.
that in future, all or nothing. Uh, but
No, they are not going to add this conversation in the All or Nothing video.
I hope in a year or two. I don't know,
Yeah, maybe.
because this would be interesting. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, Arsenal. I mean, yeah. Again, obviously they lost, but I still think there are so many positives on that game from them.
Yeah, and it's not like yeah, they scored like two more goals, but it could have like how can I say, like we saw those sort of things like in football. If the foul was like a really soft touch, it could have like how can I say, skipped over, or could have like I have no how can I say, um, I have nothing to complain against the referee. Um, he could have actually give it as a foul, and he could have. So he chose to give it as a foul. So it doesn't matter. Like it's a soft touch, and we saw so many teams uh, like in refereeing, and we could have actually ignored that sort of thing,
Yeah,
But like with this, if this goal was there, and with scoring in the second half, then it could have been different. But yeah, that's the thing. Like it's not like a uh, well, if you are winning like 4 or 5 matches in a row, uh, I'm not saying like you are allowed to lose one or something like that. It's like it could have happened. They did not have personal. Probably in from Arteta's point of view, he looked a little bit freaked out uh, about the situation. He was not that cool person. Even they were trailing with Arsenal. They were responding. Against Aston Villa, against who was the other team? Like second match, I forgot actually. So like they were quick in
Palace.
response.
No.
No, Leicester.
Yeah,
Leicester was scoring, and then they response in like few minutes. So they could have actually trust their process
yeah.
in the end. So But from United's point of view, it was an interesting and entertaining game.
It was.
There are like because last time they played in Old Trafford, they beat Liverpool, and it was eh, well, performance wise, it was like way over that game. But technically, I think Ten Hag has sort of like an idea about his resources, like what he have and what he doesn't have, and stuff like that. And
Let's say how he adapted to the players available.
yeah, but also like there are times like if we change a little bit, uh, probably some players in the back and some in the front, and then this team can play his football actually. Like only 3 4 players are missing, I guess I would say.
Yeah, no, you're correct. And also, I don't know how do you take it. Once Martinez had a little bit of hamstring probably pulled, and Maguire started to warm up. There was a lot of nervousness around at Old Trafford. Maguire came in, he, he did a foul, which was like, it's probably one of the worst foul I've seen entire season, uh, and he got booked. He looked out of the game, or out of the speed, the moment, and it was a freaky moment. I mean, it was like 2-1 at that point of time, right?
Yeah,
And one goal, and then Arsenal were back. But thankfully, Maguire and Varane kept 15 or 14 minutes, uh, kept it fairly well.
yeah, true. Also, Casemiro came in. It also helped.
Yeah, Casemiro and Freds, and yeah, and a lot of others. But yeah, good results for United. I mean, that definitely should give them a little bit of, I mean, not a little bit of, a lot of boost. One is performance against Liverpool, and also performance versus fantastic Arsenal side.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like if you're, I want to add like last quote, like if you're trying to do what Arsenal or Man City or probably Barcelona is doing, like you would always like there is a chance to get caught in the counter attack or something like that. So like mm, it doesn't mean like you should like leave this process again. I used like this process because it was in my head the whole time, like as a joke, But
Uh,
the thing is that like
Now I know Arsenal and its process.
yeah, true. But jokes apart, probably the best match, in a technical sense, or we have seen, and it was so fluid actually from both part. What they're trying to do, it was actually really clear, and what we suggested actually, what United should do, um, like after they are doing
And
this.
also, I think Martinez gives a little bit of, like, United were slow to build up
He's
sometimes.
aggressive, like really aggressive.
Martinez gives that longer ball, and it is just so
Yeah,
direct, even right from his back.
yeah.
He's very, very good at passing those balls. So it gives another element of threat coming from back, which is I think what Manchester United was missing.
Yeah, I saw like the hairs long passing. It's also like really worst. I don't know. Some um, some balls actually doesn't make any sense. But what when
It's better than his short
Martinez
short
is
passing,
doing,
believe me.
yeah, it's better than short passing actually. Like it's out of the zone and they will try to regroup or some like have time to regroup. But what Martinez do is like what you said, like it's so direct.
And
It's
diagonal
sort of like
balls.
yeah, uh, and sometimes he picks up players, especially Rashford or other runners. And Sancho is looking really cool. And we did not speak about our favorite player, Anthony. that's sort of like he was sneaking behind the whole defense and scored his first goal in his Manchester debut. What do you
Yeah.
think of it?
Well, there's never doubt in my mind that he's one of the most talented players right now playing football.
Why not? Like there are Dutch players playing in the Dutch league and they cannot perform or something like that. There are
I
things going on in the English media.
don't know. These guys, I don't know where they sleep, what they eat, what they talk. Doesn't make sense. But coming back from Anthony, I think few thing, one thing I was a little bit suspicious about is his match fitness. He was probably not
Oh,
as fit. He didn't look as smooth as normally he takes on players because of probably the fitness issues, and also was taken off, I guess, on 60 minute or before 60 minute, which is understandable. He didn't play for the last 3 4 weeks, and prior to
but it
that,
was a bold, how can I say, statement to put him in right away
oh
in
yeah,
the right.
he has to be a leader on that team, and he's taken that leadership. He is someone who's also, like Martinez, very aggressive in terms of he's
Yeah,
tenacious. He'd take on players. He'd
and
show,
he's so direct. Like he always try to shoot, always
yeah.
like
There
try to
there
find a
is
way.
there's focus on that. Yes.
Yeah,
Sometimes he can be annoying too, but
yeah, true.
that's all Brazilian skillful players. Um, I thought it was a very good game, given its first game with that
Mm.
shirt, and what an impact that goal was. I mean, definitely that goal they gave them a little bit of belief, Man United and the fans too.
Yeah, true. I completely agree. And how the build up actually, Arsenal did not have any chance to stop it. Like it was like
Yeah,
impossible to stop any for any team because the pass from Ericsson it took out the whole midfield right away.
yeah.
It's
Excellent.
like
I don't know.
unbelievable.
Yeah, it's so glad that this guy can play football again. And
Yeah, we are lucky to have him back.
yeah,
And
it's
actually, he did it last at the end of last season with Brentford.
Brentford. Yes, he did that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just pleasure to watch such player. I mean,
Mm.
it's hard to find. I'm glad he could play again. But in terms of impact, I guess Man United, should I say it's a it's a little bit of statement win. Maybe a little bit of statement win. Not a statement win. Maybe like if they have won it against City, but yeah, it's definitely a statement win.
Yeah, and also like they are now probably few points away from the top.
Yeah, who would have thought after that Brentford game, right? So,
Yeah. So yeah,
any
good.
other game that probably uh,
Uh, Actually, it was not. I was not surprised when Manchester City actually stopped their
winning?
was stopped. Yeah,
Why is
by
that? Why
Aston
is
Villa
that?
because of how can I say primitive they are in against Arsenal, Aston Villa.
Mhm.
Like they could have actually, but they played a little bit differently the whole game, sort of like Crystal Palace. But in a way, they did not give City actually also City from City's like City also was not actually that accurate in that whole game, and they were still trying to dance it around Aston Villa, but it did not work. And it was not surprising because if you see their last encounter, Aston Villa was up like 2 goals, and City came back, and it never like it doesn't happen every day, So that's another thing. And uh, shots on target of Manchester City only like 3 4 shots, and they weren't giving. Haaland sort of space that it required. I guess there were actually chances, but there were so many misfire from City. So yeah, it could happen any to any player, even though he scored already like once, and we are talking about like you know a player who scored and did not score, did not make the difference. So
Yeah, so a little bit about Haaland. I mean, are you surprised that he started so well?
yeah,
You are surprised?
He- not really. It could happen, um, but thing is that like he's sort of like an animal,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
always sneaking around, a predator or something like that.
It's funny because they were comparing him and Mbappe as a next generation big star. And
But I don't see Mbappe because of disciplinary issues and other stuff. I don't see him lasting them that long. And Haaland is more into himself, like than showing off or stuff like that. And he probably doesn't care like if he is the main star of the team or not.
yeah,
Um,
that's a
and
little bit of that I saw him. Uh,
recently, probably in the Manchester, there was a video viral of Pep Guardiola, probably from an interview, like about his recruitment process and stuff like that, and asked like why they choose Erling Haaland than other players and stuff like that, and and what he said, like he always asked the agent or the sporting director, how is he this guy as a person? Because he doesn't. He was saying like, "quote I don't care about skills." So that's another thing. And uh, also he was trying to mention Julian Alvarez a lot. Which like everyone is so focused on Alan,
yeah,
this big guy. And Pep always like try to bring both of the players in the conversation, and probably yeah, that's another issue. Like, but what like it could have clicked in that game and could have not. But what I was trying to say that like everyone is talking about like goal scoring record or stuff like that, and I don't see like if Pep ensures like the title in like probably 30 matches, probably Haaland will see it in the rest of the match.
yeah.
I can see that actually. So it doesn't about like record or stuff like that, and they have like well this team now have like even they are losing or like or even they are trailing, sometimes somehow they get back in the game, and um, how can I say like try to hang in there. That's the different issue. Since the Real Madrid loss, this team is trying. I think they are getting a little bit character. So that's what it was missing in the last season. So
That is very interesting as you talked about it. United always had flair, but did they have character? That was always the case. And
mm,
I think
United or City.
sorry, City. City is always had the flair, always had the skillful players, always had those fantastic passing games. Do they have the character? Because that's what going to end up with, winning a game, right?
Yeah.
You need on certain games you need characters. And I think yes, everyone is talking about Haaland, and he's obviously he's been fantastic. He's a big guy. It's a very good athlete and very good scorer. But I was surprised how good Julian Alvarez also is looking. Nobody much really is paying attention to him. He scored two fantastic goals. Uh, was it again? Who
It
was?
was against. Uh,
Bournemouth? No.
no, not Portsmouth.
Not Forest.
Forest, yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
not.
and he could have actually he hit
He,
the post once.
yeah, exactly. Could have scored a hat trick,
Yeah,
but it doesn't really matter. I mean, he's connecting well, and he looks to be a very good player, working hard in different positions, and you know, as long as nobody's paying attention and he can play a very good role, why not? I mean, sure.
yeah, true. Um, any other matches was interesting.
Um, not really. That's not springing up. Uh,
Have you watched Newcastle versus Crystal Palace? It was one of my favorite
oh
fixture.
no, I did. I didn't. Sorry.
Oh, wow, it was a quite dogfight actually. In the end, both technically and you know, uh, because both of the teams are like really direct, but they couldn't actually make it in the score sheet, and it ended up in draw. And in my like, for some reason, I felt that like it will end up in a draw, and unfortunately, none of the team scored it. It could have changed or something like that, because what it seems like, if there were some sort of like a, how can I say, rebound goal or something like that, or even like some any way one of this team could put it in the net, the same game would have actually ended up really differently. So it was entertaining to watch, but also a little bit, can I say,
Yeah.
a little less expected.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. I did watch that game, Brighton versus, I don't know, 5-2 Leicester.
uh, Let me check. Yeah,
Yeah.
Brighton versus Leeds.
Uh, McAllister scoring.
2-5 to Brentford against Leeds. Uh,
Yeah, and yeah, Brighton was very good. McAllister scored one screamer and got offside, and then he
yeah,
scored
it
two
was
more.
it was stunning actually. It was just a stunning goal, and then he actually scored from penalty and free kick, and it could
Yes.
have actually like his hat trick. And
Yeah.
um, well, uh, I now get it actually. Like in the national team, he's like prioritized over Enzo Fernandez because of the team he's playing and the role he's played, and also like this season he's sort of like a uh, um, pivotal midfielder in the team. But he could have actually he was actually playing even as a striker, if you remember.
He's very
Um,
very dynamic guy.
He's like we can do anything in this central area. We can take out a ball, press, um, and like how can I say, like control the ball for like from the back,
Good in
try to
shot,
make
good in short
yeah,
pass, switch the play.
yeah,
Uh,
switching the play and everything. He can do everything basically. And also that brings up that was the last game of Graham Potter as a coach of them, and
what
yeah, I
happened?
probably I probably texted you like Chelsea wants some Potter magic or sort of like that.
Yeah, not Harry Potter
Did
though.
I?
Yeah,
Uh,
not Harry.
yeah, they got Graham Potter. I know, but yeah, like what he did for the team, I guess. Like there was I guess there was a video from Tifo IRL. They sort of analyzed his strategy, like what is good and what is not, and like that before we discuss that thing, like we like were you surprised by the fact that they ditch Tuchel just right after the transfer window and like after like 2-3 matches probably?
Yeah, yeah, it doesn't make sense. But again, that's Chelsea. That's classic
Yeah,
Chelsea.
yeah. Probably I texted you or my other friend like the ghost of Abramovich is still
No,
there.
that you did to me.
Oh yeah,
And I said, yeah, it's classic Chelsea. Although new ownership or whoever it is, but it's
Um,
that same decision making. And apparently, right now, is people are talking because Tuchel was against signing Cristiano, and also he was so wanted other players who didn't came into Chelsea. Tuchel was not really happy with the Chelsea's transfer market policy and the transfer team, and also vice versa.
Actually, yeah, also another thing is that like he was sort of acting as a director of football because he had to. The new director was not there. Like they haven't got any director, a sporting director yet, and they are appointing a new coach. Usually, it's like vice versa. If you
Yep.
think about all those build up, like
Yeah.
there will be a director, then sporting director actually played a part to bring out the new coaches and philosophy and stuff like that, and he also have brings out new connections to the clubs
Yep.
so that they can, from for example, with this transfer you were referring, probably Rafinha transfer. Arsenal was
Kunde.
like yeah, Arsenal was there on him actually last season, and Edu is Arsenal sports director, Brazilian background. He was asking his agent, who is Deco, um, like they were asking, like, is he going to be there? And he was saying like, oh no, he's going to be. So that's the connection. Then they moved away and brought who's that? Marquinhos from Brazil. Um, um, so yeah, that's the thing. Like with sporting director, and Tuchel is not a sporting director. He knows the players. He knows how to manage coach a team, and there are so much pressure for him to manage those things. And like without vacation, and there is another thing going on probably. Yeah, he was getting divorced. Probably it was finalized at the time. So like there were some sort
So,
of personal issues as well. So it doesn't make any sense. Like this guy was doing two roles at the same time, and there weren't any sporting director and these sort of things. And also like he brought Aubameyang. He somehow convinced Aubameyang because it was going great with him and Barca so far before the robbery incident, and he actually convinced him to move on the deadline day, like
yeah.
6 7 days before he got fired.
Exactly.
So that's another issue. But what their narration from the Chelsea side is like that, like he was not getting along with so many players, and most of the attackers are not actually favoring him. So it's for the higher level authority, it's sort of like compromise or something. Like if you want to sell like 7 players for a coach, or like if you want to, how can I say, just fire a coach, something like that. At the end,
Well,
it came down to that
it's
actually.
an interesting take, although Tuchel would have taken over Borussia Dortmund. He was in PSG. He was where else? He was anyway. Any of the
I
former,
was in Bayern before, I guess.
yeah, and any of the team he were coaching, he didn't have very good relationship for certain reason with the players. He brought Lukaku. Lukaku didn't really perform well. Um, but yeah, it is what it is. Still, Tuchel. Um, I don't know why he was sacked. Now there's Graham Potter. Definitely, he's a good coach, very good coach. Uh, but I don't know without any kind of strategy. Where's Chelsea? Chelsea has been
Yeah, also there is like there they were like 3 games away. Now it's two, 2 games away from the international break. So they could have actually do it and after that, so that like the new coaches have had some sort of time and like now he has to get right on it. So that's another issue. Like, but if you think about a long term, project or something like that. Graham Potter, like they couldn't get much more better coach than Graham Potter,
No,
I
that
would say. And
fair
like
enough.
another
But
another
but again,
another thing was
Chelsea.
the
I don't believe long-term projects and Chelsea put those things together.
yeah, that's true. Like especially what happens to Tuchel, but I don't know. Uh, uh, but another thing annoys me, like a long-term project. I don't know. We will find out in future probably. Another thing annoyed me, like people are talking about his Champions League experience, which is none, probably Graham Potter. So that that could have been an issue, and I think it's like at the end of the day, it's sort of like a game. Like people win Champions League for their first time in their life, like
Roberto Di
Tuchel.
Matteo.
Yeah, Di Matteo won it. So why not him? And he actually is better strategist than Matteo or probably like some of the coaches they have before.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, except probably Mourinho and Ancelotti.
Ancelotti, yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's about it for me in the English Premier League. Other than this week. Oh, also don't want to go there, but yeah, uh, this week there is no game
Mm, yeah.
in the English Premier League as well. They've just postponed it.
Yeah. Do you have any comments on Liverpool, like why they are struggling?
I was going to say that and then just restrain myself because if I start to talk about it, it's a rabbit hole. Look, Liverpool look shut off themselves.
Yeah.
Nothing is working from front to back. Nothing is working except even I think except Bournemouth. They struggle
Uh,
all the game.
they could have actually lose all of those games.
Yeah,
Um, any thoughts on that?
they have to fix it, and they have to start pressing from up. Uh, Roberto Firmino doesn't really work. I mean, he works probably 6, 7 after one game, and then 6, 7 games he doesn't work. Then he works in 1 or 2 games, and then he doesn't work. Then you have Mohamed Salah, who's not really firing at all. Luis Diaz is trying his best by himself, but it looks so disjointed at the point, and the midfield doesn't work. That's the biggest thing to me. The Liverpool midfield, always the good Liverpool midfield, was working hard. I don't see this. Obviously, there's a lot of injuries, but that cannot be an excuse. They brought Arthur Melo.
Yeah.
I mean, out of all the midfielders in the world, they brought Arthur Melo.
Well, they could have actually gone for anyone because this injuries was muscular and they were there for a while. And if you remember, like last season, I was saying like they played all the matches and stuff like that. And Virgil van Dijk, we pointed out like from the last season, he's not in himself because there was an injury, probably an operation on his knee in the beginning of last season. And since then he's like trying to find himself, and this season he seems completely lost because like last season Matip was like probably the best defender in their team, and now Joe Gomez is playing. Sometimes Matip is there. Has some injury concern, but Joe Gomez is like giving away balls. Like if center backs are giving away balls, and there is nothing to do
That
for a defender
sorry,
except like if Ellison is not that good actually, like in his position and it's like reaction, they could have actually conceded a lot of goals.
Joe Gomez doesn't deserve to be Liverpool's backup defender. There has to be someone better.
Yeah, true. Um, and they actually need
Especially
to.
if you think about it, he's playing on the sides of. Trent. Trent is not good at getting back.
Yeah, and yeah, that's another issue. Like in the Napoli game, when
We'll talk about it. But
oh, okay.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's
he is not trailing coming back like, and even he was like running slow. And normally he was, and also like you talked about midfield. Thing about Liverpool midfield is like now, yeah, they have still runners.
yeah,
Firmino is working hard, uh, but it's like they are not a
as an
unit.
unit. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
one guy, two guy here and there. That's it.
yeah. Elliot is doing like brilliant football, but he's not like a team player yet. Like he's not
He's not coming
like
back to help the unit.
yeah. Also, like he's not like positioning himself well. Like he's running away like uh, to the midfielders or the midfielders or defenders of the opponent. But the thing is that like he's not like doing it coordinately. And also I think he's playing in the wrong side right now, because if you remember in our match preview of Liverpool versus Man City in the last season's last leg game uh, in the Premier League, we talked about that side actually, Liverpool's right side and City's left side. Now City can attack in the both side.
Both sides.
Now,
Yeah.
yeah, now Arsenal like we whoever doing good in the in any league right now, except for Italian league, they have like this balance, right now. So that's another issue. Like the Liverpool right side doesn't work, but left side is working. So like if Elliot is playing in the left right now, they have like Robertson, Elliot, and um, Luis Diaz, which they can actually get more out of those left side, and they have some sort of like probably play someone else or like tell Trent Alexander Arnold a little bit back off, so that like they have some sort of like a create a sort of balance in that sort of area, uh, and uh, and we sort of agreed in the before the match preview of Champions League final why Liverpool could have lose. It's because of their midfield. They're not any sort of like a they're sort of like one dimensional. They are
Yep.
not like
There's nothing
creative except for
nothing different,
yeah.
and it's sometimes it shows some of the some of the players are actually worse version of the other players they already have injured. So
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. And yeah. Anyway,
yeah, that's true. And that is the price you have to pay if you are playing like or trying to play 64 games per season,
yep,
which is insane. And there's a big season. This season is probably the biggest, and with like really less gap. Uh, like the preseason was like really short so far.
it is.
Uh,
Um, can we
yeah,
move out from Liverpool
yeah,
and
of course.
so I think we technically can move out even from English Premier League.
Premier League, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, so Serie A. What's happening in Serie A? But before even going there, any team particular you were impressed by?
Um, Actually, it's hard to say. Like, it's not hard. Like, it's like I was really, I'm feeling really sorry to say because Milan is red. So
Yeah. Yeah,
Milan
Milan,
actually impressed me so far,
Milan,
especially last week.
yeah,
Both,
there's a Milan derby.
yeah,
Milan. That's probably the first big derby in Europe. I mean, this season. This is the first blockbuster derby.
oh yeah,
I mean, there's obviously that Merseyside derby. I know, but Milan,
yeah, but
Milan,
European both playing in European level is the first time.
exactly. So in terms of game, it was fantastic. I think Inter. were having Mkhitaryan and Joaquin Correa just behind Lautaro.
Yeah.
But the problem is they never actually get hold of the ball or possession the way they would have liked.
Um, that's the thing actually. Like we probably touched a little bit because I'm not convinced with this midfield anymore. Uh, like how they played the season before, or even in the
Like
season before that
you're
actually.
talking about Inzaghi.
Inter Milan, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
under Inzaghi.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced with this midfield because I felt like when they are playing in the preseason, there should be a little bit change or upgrade in that midfield, and they could have actually transferred a little bit. They could let some players go because when your opponent is like right now current champion Milan, and they are like really good in that sort of stuff, like behind the scenes stuff. Especially they let Frank Casey go, and who was one of their best performance. But
Even
this
even
team,
even they have Çalhanoğlu, who were let
yeah,
gone by Milan, right? So
yeah,
then Donnarumma case. Yeah, Milan have done really well on those front.
yeah, that's true. And for how can I say? For Inter, that is also a problem. Like for example, signing Romelu Lukaku is
Yes.
I was
Oh,
not convinced. I don't actually agree to sign players who already left the club or something like that. Normally, um,
yeah, it was. He was, according to some of the Inter Milan fans. I mean, he was one of the reason they've won that Scudetto. But I don't really.
but yeah, you mentioned that actually, like it's the combination with Martinez. But once you left, and then this team actually moved on from that. Actually, last season they played well,
I
but they did not win
yeah,
it.
yeah, and also Lukaku.
But this season they're not actually like convincing. Like there should have been like these players are there for a while, and they sort of have some sort of like an entitlement and stuff like that, and
And whoever
which
came in,
which I don't like.
whoever came in as well. I mean, say for example, Mkhitaryan was not doing great in Roma.
Mhm.
You have Çalhanoğlu who's done okay-ish. I mean, he can do the job, but it's not really. He's not gonna win you game against say Real Madrid or Barcelona or Bayern Munich.
Yeah,
You have Joaquin Correa was more of a. He can play a certain part of the game. He can miss some very easy chances. You have Lukaku, who you don't know. He's not coming out of in a good form. He's not that guy who's going to score that amount of goal. He's injured. You have Zeko, who is 38 years old, 39 right now, and
okay.
it's just a name at this point. Probably can still do work against Lecce or Spezia or teams like that, but really cannot do much against teams like Milan or any other top teams. So all you have is Lautaro Martinez.
Yeah, that's true. Also, there aren't any sort of like support from
Yeah, from the midfield.
wings.
And also
Yeah,
some of the team selection. I didn't never why Gagliardini started, first of all, in such a important game. Gagliardini doesn't add anything. He basically subtracts creativity. You have
mm.
Barella, your best creative midfielder, being sitting on bench. You have D'Ambrosio. Oh no, D'Ambrosio
No,
started.
Barella started. Uh,
Barella started in Champions League game, not in the Milan derby.
no. Milan derby.
Did he?
Barella started. Yeah,
Okay, I could be wrong as well, but some of the team selection was not not really, and also that Brozovic cannot keep this midfield together just alone. Um, this all seems all really predictable, and they've let
yeah.
some of the players go and didn't really replace them with a better version.
Yeah, that's true. That and that's what another thing I said, like entitlement, because like if you are Brozovic and you are not playing well, you still are playing in the next match um, for that team, and that is like this fighting for a spot actually made better, like best version of a player.
Yeah, and also in Milan there's a lot of other players who are fighting for it. Players like Benacer, uh, you
In
have
AC Milan,
Tonali,
right?
yeah, Tonali.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, they're winning. If they're not even winning, they're battling it out on that
yeah,
midfield.
yeah.
Uh,
True. Also, like there are three strikers right now uh,
Rafael
playing for.
Leao, Olivier Giroud.
No, no,
Sorry,
no. Olivier Giroud, Leo, Origi, and some other.
Rebic.
Yeah, Rebic.
And also, this Milan team has options. I mean, they're not. It doesn't seem like a very very lucrative one in name, but they're really really efficient. Uh,
Yeah, except for like I would say like probably Tomori and Liao or and Hernandez. Uh, None of their place is safe so far.
True. Or maybe the keeper Magnian.
Yeah, maybe. But that is also interesting, and I was telling, probably texting you, like Milan, even though they Inter scored like twice, like they are trying to come back after in the game, and this Milan team has a sort of like a characteristics to hang in there, even though they are not playing well or stuff like that. They try to hang in there, and which actually like reminds me of the older Milan, like
Under
uh,
Capello.
under Capello. Yeah, exactly. Um, Compared to that, Ancelotti was a little bit attacking, but that Capello team actually, like, they try to hang in there all the time
Yeah.
and try
They're,
to hurt
they're,
the opponent when
they're
they can.
annoying.
Yeah, really annoying. Yeah,
Like they're
but
not really
this team
knocked
is
out.
not that actually annoying, but has some sort of fluidity with
Mm.
Liao and Messiah, so stuff like that. But his Capello team was like really annoying.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, trying to say, like they hang in there and try to
Pick up,
hurt the
pick up,
opponent.
pick up
Yeah,
some moments and
yeah,
some minutes to them.
exactly. And that's how they do it actually. Like, that's how they are probably the favorite. And I'm not seeing any other team winning it this year so far.
Okay. Atalanta, by the way, right now is sitting on the top. Doesn't mean anything, but Atalanta is in
Well,
general.
Atalanta has this sort of problems like similar to Napoli. They are in the beginning of the season up until like November, December. They are like probably they looks like I don't know.
Great team.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, like the dream team or something like of Barcelona or some other team. I don't know. But after that, like when injuries came in and in the middle of the season, there will be the World Cup and they won't look good.
Uh, but yeah, Napoli so far, obviously, we talked about it. Napoli, first half of the season is always great. Let's see how they
Yeah.
do it after January. But yeah, things stands at the moment. I mean, Juventus looks pale. Um,
Have you seen that game? I actually missed that one as well. Fiorentina versus Juventus. It was one
I did.
draw.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Uh, Fiorentina,
Did you see anything new from Juventus?
except Paredes,
Mm, yeah,
he's. I think with him there's a little bit of more circulation of the ball, and
yeah.
he gives something very different than what their midfielders were trying to give. I guess he needs a bit of time to operate, but still
Yeah.
it looks good.
also Di Maria probably was taken off, and but he was coming from an injury.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
probably that's why. And he did not start with against PSG as well, like
No, he didn't.
Di Maria.
No.
Okay, but Paredes was there. But with Paredes, what I said in the last episode, like when he will get those wingers running for him, then then Juventus will look a little bit better.
Yeah,
But for
definitely.
now, they don't have anything to offer it other in the creative side, especially. I don't know, like where Locatelli went. Um,
Somewhere underground in
he's not
Turin.
like, yeah, I don't know. Like since the Euro, he's like completely lost. Since his move to Juventus, he's like completely different player, and I don't know like where he lost.
Yeah, same here. I don't know what happened. Uh, but on that note, I mean, there's not much to talk about, except Udinese trashed Roma 4-0. Otherwise, Roma would have been top. Udinese looked so
Yeah,
good on
but
that game, and Roma
that
prior
that
to that
also
game,
happened.
yeah,
Yeah, that also happened to Roma in the European level, like in the Europa League.
Against Ludogorets or something.
Yeah, that's the
Uh,
thing. Like this Mourinho team is like playing well. Everything is doing well. Like then sometimes they lose it so bad, and it seems like they are probably
not
coming from
as
like a relegation area or something like that.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So and that Udinese team, there are some physical players, and Roma couldn't just cope. Like Delafeu and Roberto Pereira, they looked world beaters. Um, but again, if Roma would have won that game, they would have been in the top. So nobody wants to be in top, I guess, for the moment.
Except for Milan.
Well, Milan is close. Yeah, I think they're third at this point.
Yeah, but they will be there
Yeah,
so far.
and also the worst thing about is Lazio. They do very good against good team.
Yeah,
They're worst against worst team. I don't understand this thing.
that's sort of like a Manchester United syndrome. Like
Yeah,
I told in the last season, Manchester United do well in the good against the good teams, and they sometimes perform like really shit against. Like it has been there for a while. Like even in the Ferguson era,
yeah, no,
they
no, no.
sometimes
But
lose
it's
points against
I don't know if it's due to how much
motivation. I don't know. Like
Sorry
I
is
don't.
smoking or something. I don't know.
I know. I don't think so. But uh, one more thing could it be? It's like
The players'
this
intensity.
team is no. The thing is that like if you are playing against um, against a small team, you have to bring the game up to the opponent.
Yeah, that's true.
And Lazio, Lazio doesn't have that much runner, like and that much big squad as well.
Well, except
So
Lazzari is a very good runner. He's a right back. He can run like probably
yeah,
180
one or two
minutes.
runners doesn't
Yeah,
make that
true.
that much of a difference,
Yeah,
especially through the middle. So that's how they do it. Like they uh, in the counter attack, it makes sense,
yeah,
but when you are playing, bringing the game to the opponent, especially against like lower level team, you need some sort of like a little bit creativity,
yeah.
like so that's I guess like more or less the explanation. I
But
don't know.
maybe if Sari can smoke enough, I guess Lazio can run.
Yeah, he's not allowed to smoke anymore in the so probably that's the reason. Like he's anxious all the time.
Yeah, probably he starts to smoke again
But
for Lazio.
he has patches, so
Yeah. Anyway, that's about it from me from Syria. There's not much to talk.
oh also like maybe we can move to Champions League.
For sure.
Like
Let's move into Champions League.
Yeah, but before that, like wanted to say something like, uh, have you noticed like it's not possible for both of us to watch all the matches, like, right? And recently, I've been I noticed a funny thing. If you, I don't know if you have noticed it. Like, for example, I was looking for games like it's not like if you are searching for like Juventus versus some team, or like Real Madrid versus some team, or any other team, like if they're playing, you will get like extended highlights for like up to probably 15-20 minutes or something like that sometimes. And if you're searching for like Spezia versus Bologna, or I don't know, Levante versus Espanyol, or stuff like that, you are like, it's so like in La Liga official, or like in the Italian Serie A official website, there are like 2 minutes, 3 minutes of highlights, which
Yes.
is not like enough. Like, and it's
Yeah.
not like possible for us to cover like watch every matches. Like,
No.
well, that's what I tried to do
Yeah.
in the Champions League game, because like I skip the big matches. Like you can get them for free, like you can but for the small matches are like more important, like not important, like for us it's like
Yeah.
to, I don't
It's
know, like
I
it's
get
fun to watch. Like
exactly.
you don't know what you will get. And for big teams, like that's another thing we discussed like last season. Like for Champions League, you can guess like this 8 team or 9 team, or out
Will
of
be.
this 10 team will play in the quarterfinal or stuff like that. But for Europa League, you cannot guess. Like anything can happen there. Um, so that's another thing. Like you have to look up to the smaller teams, like money wise and stuff like that, and media wise. And the thing is that like it's so disturbing sometimes. Like some teams, I love to see them play, like for example Sociedad or Betis, or from like Atlanta, from SerieA, and Premier League actually has good coverage for probably mostly some teams actually. Sometimes they don't, but mostly. But for those teams, like it's really less. Like sometimes it's there are so many interesting games going on, and if you are, uh, I feel like I feel like I miss. How can I say? Sometimes I feel like I miss an opportunity or something like that when I miss those sort of games. Like probably, let's say, Sociedad versus Betis or something, like these sort of games. Like you are missing, or Atlanta versus I don't know, Bologna, I guess, or Lazio versus Roma, especially. um, so like those sort of games, you are missing something, and we are not in an island.
Yeah.
So we love to watch as much as possible. And nowadays, like I have been thinking, like watching those sort of games a little bit more.
Yeah.
uh,
No. That's totally. But again, I don't know about you. Some weekends are crazier than others. um,
True.
you have
Yeah.
a lot of other stuff going on. So yeah, but
Yeah.
we
Okay.
try to watch as much as possible. But then again, understand that that's not entirely possible.
Yeah, that's not up to us also sometimes.
Yeah. Exactly. So um, i- in Champions League, obviously, there's so many good games. I mean, uh,
Of course. Actually, in every tire, like at the time, how can I say, time frame, they have like multiple games, and every time frame has like, how can I say, a hit game.
so
you know.
so so let's start somewhere where small team trashed big dreams, probably. Uh,
Yeah. Mm, let me check. Which one was the first? Chelsea, right?
Chelsea, yeah, Dynamo Zagreb.
Yeah. Which cost Tuchel the job.
Yeah, it was the final decision. Yeah,
Yeah. But I saw them. Actually, I started watching Copenhagen versus Borussia Dortmund, and it was in Germany.
yeah,
But in first 5 minutes, how can I say? Um, Copenhagen was a little bit scary, I would say. And well, what was missing is that like they have they did not have courage to go for it, and also like they're giving away a ball in the midfield so softly to Dortmund, and that actually cost them like one or two goals. Royce was really clinical in that game, and Jude Bellingham was like sort of everywhere. Like whenever I was watching, because I was watching parallelly, and whenever he was playing, like he was like okay, he was always there, and he was tackling and pushing the ball, like carrying the ball towards the opponents and stuff like that, and it's like a complete midfield performance for him, from him actually. But except for that, like have you watched that actually?
No,
Honest.
I didn't see that game. No, actually, I did. To be honest, I was not seeing any of the games because I was working. It comes. Champions League happens in midweek and the working
Oh
hours,
yeah,
so I can all I can see is scores, and not even that always.
yeah,
I had to catch
true.
up through highlights.
And it's for me, it's a very different case. Like it starts at 9, which is like almost like around my bedtime. So I wake up early, so it's sort of like man, like messed up my schedule sometimes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, that's another thing. But apart from that, like I was watching this week. It's like the beginning of the season, uh, like a Champions League season. So I like try to watch as many games as possible. I try to have some sort of like idea about those teams. Like if there is going to be any sort of like a dark horse in that league, Champions League or something like that. But yeah, Zagreb actually played well against Chelsea. It was surprising, which was not actually that much surprising. Chelsea was like passing the ball was like the whole time and doing nothing with the ball. And after like 80 minutes, they were like so desperate, like they realized that okay, we are Chelsea now, or something like that. And other than that, like uh, Zagreb was playing in blues, and I at first I thought
yeah.
like
Exactly. Exactly. I thought
because
Chelsea were not
no,
that bad,
yeah,
but
also like I was using like the parallel screen, like, and Chelsea is not working. How can I say? Chelsea was white, right? Probably,
yeah,
and Zagreb was blue, and I thought that, oh, okay, yeah, Chelsea is playing well today. They will get something, and then when they scored the first goal, and he's not a Chelsea player. Okay, wait, something like that.
yeah,
So yeah, it was fun game actually. Like for Zagreb, it's a um, I would say like they will celebrate
yeah.
like
With
as
Graham
before.
Potter.
Yeah, but yeah, the next match I watched actually it was actually I was paying attention to um, PSG versus Juventus.
Yeah.
Um,
First up, PSG was
I
brilliant.
Yeah, also like I was does that day, right? Yeah, also like I was keeping an eye on the Milan game, AC Milan versus RB Salzburg, and you actually convinced me not to keep eye on Celtic versus Real Madrid, but
Because
it did not have, huh?
let's go back to what actually happened. You're texting me and saying that each game you're watching, everybody was scoring. I
Yeah,
said
I
no,
was switching that
and
time actually.
that at that point it was 0-0 in Celtic versus Real Madrid. I said, please don't watch that game. I want this it stay like that. So I don't know why you didn't listen. I don't know.
Uh, yeah, like I started with PSG versus Juventus. Then Mbappe scored. Then I switched to Sevilla versus Manchester City, and they scored City. Um, and then I switched probably to which game I forgot actually. Leipzig versus
Milan.
Shakhtar Donetsk.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, okay.
Shakhtar Donetsk,
Yeah.
and Donetsk probably scored at that time. And when I went to Milan, and Milan or Leipzig scored, I forgot actually. So like when I was moving away,
Yeah.
uh, then every time, oh yeah, Milan scored actually. Milan came back to the game. So yeah, yeah, big teams are scoring.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why I say don't see the game of Real Madrid and Celtic. But yeah, you didn't listen. Uh,
No, I didn't. I did not watch
okay.
because by the time I was decided to watch, probably Vinny Junior scored already.
Yep.
So like I'm not going to do that anymore. That game is done. But yeah, like I think I missed that part actually. How brilliant Luka Modric's performance was, because I saw that in highlights. Um, One of the masterpieces of the week. If it if it is not the masterpiece because of Ericsson, I would say. Um, it's a brilliant performance, and how they are using the midfield so far. We discussed in our La Liga episode. Um, it is brilliant so
Yeah.
far.
Exactly.
Um, so like have you caught up in highlights or something like that?
I did watch all the highlights. Yes.
Anything interesting?
Well, a lot of interesting games. I thought Shakhtar was. I think surprised Leipzig so much.
I wouldn't say, because like Leipzig is performing really poorly in the league.
No, 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 no.
So
This started. I thought the start of the game for Leipzig was fairly confident, and they were started to
oh
move.
yeah, yeah.
But then this guy, number 10, Mudrik, he was so good with going back. He was carrying the ball in the counter so well, and Shakhtar really struck back, and then it was all Shakhtar.
Yeah, true. And they actually lost probably uh, 7 or 8 players
Players,
from their
yeah,
first,
exactly.
and they actually rebuilt the whole team. So yeah, it's a sort of like this for them, and they are actually doing well in the group stage. If you see past few years' performance so far.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. So apart from Shakhtar game, I thought, we already mentioned about Zagreb versus Chelsea, but uh, I think Sevilla, disappointment again. I thought Ajax is very good in their win
yeah.
versus who they win against
Against Rangers, I guess
Rangers.
like I thought some sort of fight, and when I decided to move there,
It was already done
the
and
game
dusted.
is already, yeah, it's like 30 minutes and they scored 3 goals already. So
Yeah, Ajax was very good.
I only watched her highlights. So they already lost so many players, right? But they got, and they still have like Barguins and Bargias,
Yeah,
both of them.
yeah.
Both of them are playing well. They bought this striker. What's his name? Let me check.
Uh, but
Kudus.
yeah,
Kudus is also doing well. Uh,
that's a thing with Ajax. I mean, whoever comes in seems like he's
yeah, it
been
doesn't
there.
matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, but
but
yeah, on
I,
their
I I thought I thought like when PSG, like with PSG game, it was interesting at the end, and well, they are still playing well, and Neymar actually made a brilliant assist. He lobbed the ball over the whole defense, and made Mbappe open out of the goal, in front of the goal. Sorry, um, and other than that, like in the first half, they looked like so hungry. Well, they're trying to do something, and when Juventus actually scored one goal, and whenever they are getting the ball, they looked actually like panicked completely. Especially they have like given they have like defenders like Ramos, Marquinhos, and the midfield is playing well. Hakimi is tracking back. Everything was going well, but still they look a little bit freaked out.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
I don't know if they don't still look like a team when they're pushed on the edge. They don't
Yeah,
behave like a team.
yeah, that is true. And
And not only that, I saw Mbappe not passing to Neymar when Neymar was free. They could have been
yeah,
three or four, four goals already, and that game would have been killed. So if you give that chance to the opponent, like Juventus, I understand they're a big name. They're not.
Juventus actually had some pretty good chances, and there are some saves from like, at least like two incredible saves from Donnarumma. They could have actually scored, like come back to the game and take some points.
Yeah, no, I agree. But any other better team who didn't bury them like Real Madrid did them?
Yeah, and the transition is like so slow from one side to another side,
Yeah,
like the diagonal passes. There are not many except for Lionel Messi. Sometimes
yeah.
Neymar is like so one-dimensional. He was playing well, but thing with Neymar is this is the problem, I guess.
I
Like
think there is a
he
bit of
sometimes doesn't see players in the other side of the pitch.
and
Like Hakimi was like running like free for free. He could have opened Hakimi.
that's the other thing. That there's group going on in that team. He doesn't want to pass him, and he doesn't want to pass him.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Um, it's like it's not very much like
little
a team.
kids, little kids are
Yeah,
playing together.
yeah, that is true. It's like a amateur league or something like that. Like still there.
Yeah, so lots of egos. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, PSG still hold on. Juventus can take a bit of uh, pride out of that, if we should say. You know, they're sparking moments definitely after McKinney came in. Um, so
There was a head uh, from Vlahovic in the first half. It could have went in if
yeah,
you have seen.
yeah.
Yeah, but
And
other
I
than
didn't
that, like
I didn't like how they started with Milik and Vlahovic. They're almost like similar type of player, like two strikers. Who does that in modern days? It could have been anyone else probably. I don't know.
yeah, and actually Paredes looked really well that game.
Yeah,
Whenever
he
he
did.
was getting the ball, especially in the later in the game, like after 60, 70 minutes, and he was actually playing some brilliant moves.
Yeah, he
And
was passing in between lines and stuff like that. Yeah,
and that's what actually makes Allegri probably hasn't assumed, or I don't know why he bought him, but he could have actually know his ability to open up the wings. So
yeah,
especially the wingers they have. So yeah, he couldn't use him properly.
definitely. And also, obviously, if we're talking about a Italian team, obviously we have to talk Napoli, right? Napoli
Yeah, of course.
thrashing Liverpool. Could have been 6, 7 goals, but
Yeah, and there were some like cute, how can I say, misses from Napoli.
yeah.
Otherwise, it could have been. And Joe Gomez was like really worst person to be in the field. I don't know. He was taken off, I guess, in
It's a
the
hard
after the.
competition with Trent Alexander-Arnold, but yeah, I'll give it to Joe.
Oh, yeah. But the thing is that mm, like he had so many bad misses. Like you cannot see them from the
Center back.
center backs. Yeah, And also like whenever they are passing in the back post, especially Napoli, um, none of the center backs are actually tracking the mm, like whoever coming in the back post. Even
They're marking some
Van Dijk.
ghosts, some ghost,
What?
maybe some shadow of Osime. Like they're not actually marking Osime, they're marking shadow of Osime. Like
Yeah, true. And the thing is that like also I was going to mention it before. Uh, Alexander Arnold is not tracking back. Like he was seen in the like two of those goals, like from the counter
he was
attack. He was
jogging
like
back.
jogging back, yeah. And Elliot was like passing him, and he, which is like insane. Um, I don't know,
But
like they are not
we have
playing in
to.
any.
I don't pronounce his name very well. But no, we have to
Yeah, the left
talk.
wingers.
Yeah, the Chief.
I have no idea.
I have to Google his name and let me try it again. Um,
Uh, uh, Let me check because the commentators are saying.
Shicha Varshihila. Maybe I've butchered it, but there is a he's a he's a Georgian player. He's doing very well in Serie A, and he's been phenomenon in against
Have you
Liverpool.
seen some moves from Engisa?
Yeah,
He was
Engisa and as well
before
as
the third goal. He was
Zielinski.
doing 360 with
Yeah,
the ball, and he just moved past like two, three like midfielders, and he just opened up him. And it's like, oh my god,
all of them. Even this guy,
yeah,
number 77.
Lobotka.
She I don't know, the Georgian star. He's doing so well in terms of 3 4 Liverpool players cannot get near him.
And actually, I was a little bit worried when Victor Oshiman was taken off.
Well, thankfully
Uh,
for Liverpool, because otherwise, he was creating havoc. Like 1 2 passes, he's back of the Liverpool defense, right?
Yeah, and the thing with him and Zelensky is like they switch positions sometimes and cause all sort of confusion with the center backs. And then like, right now, like uh, I saw this sort of thing from other defense, but never from Virgil. It's like he was sometimes confused if he should
Go
go front
close,
or
yeah, exactly,
yeah
or
or
wait for it.
wait for it or stuff like that. And they sort of have like these moments from like passes from Anguissa or Lobotka. Like Lobotka was like doing everything. Like he was circling around Anguissa basically, and Anguissa is like, okay, I don't care who is playing around me, and he looks like he's playing against some like schoolboys or something like that. The whole midfield was like they are like three midfielders, and it seems like they are outnumbered with these two.
Yeah,
And it's so insane how they played.
yeah.
And if you remember one performance when Pogba was there in Juventus, he was playing one of those sort of games in Champions League, and I would say like it was better performs like perform game from Engriza. I haven't seen like players moving this comfortable like around a team like Liverpool midfield or around like against even press.
Yeah,
It's so brilliant to see.
it is.
But also like Lobotka was like he was doing sort of like Anguissa is in a way a little bit one or two dimensional, but Lobotka can do so many stuffs at like so many levels. And if they don't like burnt out, they will be a title contender this season. If they don't run out, like the,
Well, this
the
time
problems with Napoli is that like
they have
they
this
always go for.
they have this they're talking about Varshela as a Varadona. So let's see. Mm. um,
Yeah, but one of the
he was bought just
satisfying.
only $10 million. And one of the signings. I mean, what you would expect to see from Liverpool winger, he was showing it on the other end. He was toying with them, like Joe Gomez and Trent Alexander-Arnold. He was just toying with them, and obviously we haven't talked about Oshime getting subbed off, and then obviously,
Yeah, and then Simeone came and he just on his first touch he scored.
yeah, and what a great story, because he just had an interview with Sid Lowe, I guess, in Guardian, was talking
Yeah,
about his Champions League tattoo, what he got in age 13, and his parents were
yeah,
not happy, and he said, I'll score a goal and I'll kiss it. So yeah, his dream came true. So he was so emotional. First touch in Champions League, it scored.
yeah.
It's,
It's so hard. Like how can I say? Like it's sort of like
it had to happen. It's
he
a
could not.
magic. Yeah,
Yeah, he could not even believe in the first half. He's
yeah,
like
exactly.
this expression. It is like so brilliant to see.
Exactly, but
Uh, but
Liverpool is so lucky to still
yeah,
keep it like four. I mean, obviously, Osimhen missed the penalty, and then we talked about some Osimhen hitting post as well.
yeah,
Uh, but Liverpool never really were in that game. I mean, not for a
yeah.
moment they looked like
No,
fighting.
not at all. Like, except there were some moments from like moves from Elliot. That's what I said before. Like, two players are doing different things in the different side. They could have actually changed the like position and make a constructive attack in the one side
And they didn't look
and
like a
make
team.
a little bit.
All
Huh?
individuals. They didn't look like a team, which is
No,
hard.
no, no,
Hard for a
not
club
at all.
team.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing. Like, it, it sort of reminded me that Dortmund team went ended up like being seventh in the seventh place, if you remember.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah, but
other than that, obviously kudos to Napoli, and they had a better game plan and players than Liverpool.
yeah, also like they lost so many players, and it
Yeah,
was
we have
I
to
was not
we have
sure.
to
Like,
we have to mention about that. The three spiritual leaders are gone by this season,
yeah,
like Trace Martin, Lorenzo Insigne, Koulibaly.
Koulibaly,
Uh, these three leaders were gone, and then they come up with this, and yeah, that's just incredible.
and I think in a way it's better, like better version of Napoli from the last season with Koulibaly
It
because Kim, I
seems
saw
like that.
Kim. Yeah, I saw Kim like he was probably holding back whatever coming from the left side, like Salah or anyone else.
Yeah, Meret had some
Nothing was
good
passing.
good saves,
Yeah, Merit. Yeah,
because Keller Navas was supposed to go in Napoli, and Meret was not
yeah,
really the first choice, but he came up with some big saves as well. So, yeah, all good from Napoli side. Uh, we probably want to move on to a
yeah, yeah, of course.
different game to talk about a little bit of Barcelona, probably.
Maybe the big one first, Inter versus Bayern. Well, theoretically, be the big one. Inter never was in the game. They how they I like
I,
that's what I mentioned. Like,
there's a bit of fear or intimidation that even from the starting 11, you can see
yeah,
there's no intention of winning it.
yeah,
Like
that is true. Like, it
like
doesn't have any sort of like this midfield give away ball so easily. Like, it's
everything
super
is like,
frustrating. Yeah,
okay, we don't want to touch it. This
yeah,
Bayern Munich coming out, we talked about Union Berlin and Bayern Munich were held. Now with Bayern Munich came in San Siro, they're not that great Bayern Munich.
yeah. Like that drew even against Mönchengladbach,
Exactly,
which is not like as good as team as I would say Union Berlin. Um,
exactly, and and obviously, Inter never actually challenged them ever.
yeah, that's the thing that annoys me. Like they are giving away balls. Like, okay, yeah, you can have it,
You can have it,
and
do whatever you want.
yeah, that's the thing. And there were some like Edin Dzeko was playing and in the first team, and which was like weird if you're playing against a team like uh,
Bayern Munich.
uh, Bayern Munich. They have like obviously high defensive setup, and he's not gonna run behind the defenders.
No, you
So.
you have
I
to
don't
have
understand.
you have to have runners. I mean,
Yeah, and they've always like give him the header so that they can have a second ball, but there was no player around him to get the
to win
second ball.
that exactly.
Yeah, so this doesn't make any sort of sense, and they are trying to do the same thing again and again, and it's like it's like trying to see a blind cat hitting the wall again and again.
Also, I think there's a no planning at all when they let Perisic go in a good money.
Yeah,
They never had anyone on the wing as close as Perisic ready because there's no
you,
imagination coming
you
from
don't.
wing.
Yeah, you don't need actually like a Perisic or something like that, because you can switch a position a little bit and like probably play like they use like 3-5-2 formation,
Yeah,
and which is like really narrow in front. And if they have like opponent have like 2-3 defender, they are already outnumbered,
packed. Yeah,
and there aren't any sort of creative stuff to do. So like they will need a player like the Dybala probably would have been that player in the just behind the center forward, or
who could
someone
win it?
can play a little bit
Yeah,
wide. You can push like go for like behind run behind the center backs and
or take
the
on
wing backs or
players.
left back or something, or take on players. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, this team is like so one dimensional. Like compared to like AC Milan team, Milan sometimes like have some sort of like a 4-3-3 defensive formation. Like it sort of looks like a 4-5-1, or sometimes like 4-5-4-4-2, like 4-4-1-1 or something like that. So compared to that, like they don't have any sort of shape. Inter Milan doesn't create something. So like this season, I don't see anything good will come.
No, um, not if they keep doing it.
Yeah, but from Bayern's point of view, it's like a good start. They could have actually scored more.
To be honest, yes. But given the start they have, given the performance they have in the Bundesliga against Inter 2-0, they won the point. Obviously, why not? I
Yeah,
mean, that might be
that
something they can build on something.
yeah, and for Bayern Munich, it's like
But again,
whenever
shout
they are
out to
not
Onana.
favored.
Onana played a
Yeah,
fantastic first game. Saved a lot of very good shots, and he had a very good game. And I think he should
yeah,
start
true.
other than Handanovic.
I don't know which like was the worst thing happened to Inter Milan last season, but yeah, if like for Bayern's point of view, like they always like whenever they win this tournament, they always start slow a little bit, and then the more they go deep in, they are getting momentum or stuff like that, and
Yep.
it's which is important for them. So like then the next match against Barcelona in Munich, it would be a challenge for them.
Yeah, let's see. Let's talk a little bit about Barcelona versus Victoria Pleasant. Obviously, Pleasant is not the greatest side, but still,
Yeah,
you
they
have,
considered one goal already.
yeah.
But
How do you?
Frank Casey are off the mark, which is I would say a little bit relief for a new player. Like he's not like a striker, but still it will give some sort of a boost up. Like how hard he's working. Like whenever he was coming, like even as a substitute of Gabi normally, or someone else, or he's playing these positions like its own, and he's gives some sort of like a different. We talked about that like different things uh, compared to the other players of Barcelona. And De Jong actually played like his dream role
Yeah,
finally in this pivot position. Uh, and he played well actually.
it did actually. Barcelona whole everyone played well except Ousmane Dembele, who played probably in a different level. I mean, finally, it's great to see Ousmane playing.
Actually, he was playing like this in the match before as well.
No, no,
So
that's true. But it's so nice to see him. There is that, like he does that, and then there's not much continuity, but he's doing it game after game after
Match,
game after game.
yeah.
That is what making him as one of the leaders. I think he's already a leader on that team. But
Actually, for this team, like whenever Dembele on the left side, they are creating more from the left, and whenever he's in the right side, they are
he's creating
creating
for
more
them.
from the left. Yeah,
He's
so like it's
insane.
sort of like
He's insane.
yeah, and
Just stay, fit, and this guy is running havoc. Um, Especially the third goal, the header for Lewandowski. He
yeah,
he dribbled past two three players. The ball was getting away. He came back. He had a sliding
he
tackle, I
has
think.
yeah, it's sort of like as if he wanted to do like this goal to be happen right now,
Yeah, he
and
was
he made it
possessed.
happen.
He was possessed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
it was unbelievable.
yeah, no, I saw some punditry. Everyone is talking about Lewandowski. Obviously, Lewandowski scored some very good quality goals outside of 18-yard box too, and he's been very decisive, very good. Anyone putting anything, he's gonna score. We don't have anything new to say about Lewandowski. He's just scoring goals. But I think what's making this team is insanely good looking is Ousmane Dembele.
Yeah, true. Also, like even if we talk about Lewandowski, how he is linked with like Pedri, it's like
Yeah,
he can actually
not just
and
Pedri, even
no,
Kunde.
no, yeah, even Kunde. And the thing is that like with him is that like he sort of uh, dictate those moments, passively. Like he did a mm, back pass flick, you know, uh, back flick actually
Yeah,
to
that the
towards like
two
he could have
Pedri
actually
on the
yeah it
goal
was
line sort of
yeah it
save.
was it's saved from the goal line. Yeah, the thing is that like uh, he nobody was expecting this sort of everyone knows that like he's a good scorer, but nobody have seen this version of him. No, like
Yeah, probably not many people seen Bayern Munich games because he was playing almost similar, isn't it? Or he's playing very differently.
no, he's playing very differently because of the position and personnel as well. And Bayern central midfielder is not that much up normally, like except when
I was
Guardiola was
got
there.
yeah Pep. I was talking about Pep team.
Like in the last season, he was playing something similar.
Yeah,
Uh, Last season of Pep Guardiola is something
yeah.
similar.
But yeah, no, it's been great teammate. Obviously, he's going talking. He's giving passes. Is becoming Luis a bit of Luis Suarez esque in terms of linking up and
Yeah,
finding.
prime Luis Suarez
Yeah,
actually.
exactly. Sometimes Luis Suarez could be, he could miss the most easiest chance, but he convert the most hard ones.
Yeah,
Uh, uh, uh,
but with Lewandowski, Barcelona have this sort of reliance, like
he would score.
getting. Yeah, he will score and he will be a little bit consistent, not like Suarez sometimes do crazy stuff, like crazier even than Lewandowski ever had or something like that. Because I saw him like lobbing past the ball over the whole defense and scoring the goal. And I saw him missed like a tap in
Yeah,
in the same match. So, but for Lewandowski, if he won't score that goal, but he will definitely gonna score the tap in or probably anything comes in the 6 yard box.
yeah. No, that's definitely there. There's a bit of Memphis Depay. Good to see him. A little bit of that. I don't know how it's feeling, but Barcelona team does have a lot of option. Ansu Fati started. Um,
Yeah, Ferran Torres came in and scored,
oh,
and
that was a very good goal.
yeah, I think it was the pass from Dembele, right?
Yeah, that guy is on a
And
different
that
level.
was,
He's on weed or something.
yeah.
He's high, and he's not even celebrating after the goal. Like
No,
he's
he's
coming back and assisting again. So he's on in a different level mentally, I guess.
and that is another thing. Like it's not like I remember so far, like when everyone was criticizing him, and Messi was probably it was his first season as a captain, and he was sort of like defending him, like
Today
um,
I've seen even Martin Braithwaite saying the same thing. He's now the Espanyol player, but
yeah,
he said that Messi is different. But I've never seen someone like Usman, that raw talent in training
yeah.
ground
That's the thing. Like Xavi was saying, like he's even better than Neymar in his at his prime,
at one on one.
or similar.
At
Yeah,
one
at
on one.
1-on-1. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
And that's another thing. Like with Neymar, you know certain moves. Like he will probably most likely to go right, and with Dembele, it's like he
you
can go
know,
anyway.
you don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
can go
know. I
anyway.
don't think even he knows. Sometimes
Yeah, that's the thing. Like he once said in an interview, like he doesn't feel like he favors one foot or something like that. He is both good in both foot. Like it's so natural and it's so unbelievable. Like you can see if you like we saw like when we were growing up, like how Cristiano Ronaldo was playing in the beginning, and he sort of like made his left foot stronger. Um, but with Dembele, it's like he's like everyone says he's left-footed, but I don't see the difference.
he.
I sometimes feel
I think
it
there's a.
feels like
I think there's an interview. He said, "What's your strongest foot?" He said, "Left foot." Then why you take penalties with right foot? Then he seems. Oh, do I? Something like that. He doesn't even know.
he doesn't even know. That is like another thing, and there are like so many players like him, like Pedri, unbelievable. Whenever he's playing, I don't know, like it's sort of like if you are creating a midfielder, like you are controlling like the with the joystick, like the midfielder,
Yeah. No.
something
Fair
like
enough. Okay. Enough of Barcelona. I mean, good to see Pique back, playing a little bit, other than sitting on the bench. But any other game we want to talk about?
that. We did not talk about Real Madrid actually. Um,
Yeah, good to see Hazard back and scoring.
yeah, Hazard scored, but the main part was that like
Finish.
Benzema was out. Uh,
Yeah, Benzema is out. That's why.
I guess like 2-3 games. They will probably suffer against. I don't know, Leipzig a little bit, but I don't see like given the quality they have right now and how they're playing. They started with this match like Cruz and Modric both, but before Modric left, like how too many and Modric is doing, like what they're doing right now. Like too many is like probably more adopted. Like Kamavinga was playing for over a year, but too many seems like it's like his natural like position, like to be in this team and some stuff like that, and it's like he's getting players everywhere. Probably he could actually like
the the biggest difference between Shumani and Casemiro, whatever I've seen so far, is Casemiro is very static. He covers that
y-
zone, but Shumani is very dynamic, very very dynamic.
yeah, and also like he can find player even if someone actually blindfolded him.
So it's actually, it may sound ridiculous that Casemiro won five UEFA Champions League with the Real Madrid team, but it's an upgrade. To me, it's not a downgrade.
No, 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 it's not. Never was a downgrade, and um, it's so incredible. And he's a teenager, right? He's like 18 or 19,
Yeah, 18 or 19. He's still a teenager.
and both of the players like Chumani and
Kamavinga.
Kamavinga is still 19. And if you compare to like Barcelona, and there is a huge how can I say generational fight coming on, like Gavi Pedri versus Chumani Kamavinga. Wow, it would be fun to watch, like
Yeah,
again.
yeah. If they can continue.
Yeah, and last season when they trashed by Barcelona, there was like a missing. We probably analyzed that like there were legs missing. in the midfield, and I think Madrid found them actually, and even better actually.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, they're very very good players. Other than that, I think
well, there is this one game because every game has ended, and I was about to sleep. I was checking the score. Okay, Atletico Madrid just scored after 90 minutes, and I went to the toilet and came back, and I saw Porto scored again, and I was about to sleep, and I was like, for some reason, I started the laptop again, and how can I say, like, start the game, and this game is still going on in over 100 minutes, and then Griezmann scored, and
yeah, no, it's
uh,
Griezmann is now Mr. 30 minutes.
yeah, and Barcelona is like sort of like probably taking it in the court or something like that, and
Yeah, now it's I don't know what's going to happen, but whatever Griezmann is doing in 30 minutes, I mean, it's great so far.
yeah, 5 match he played so far, and he scored like three goals already
Yeah, I guess that gives a little bit of
in 30
focus on
minutes.
him. Yeah.
Well,
But I think what changed for Atletico was the changes, the substitution.
yeah.
The moment Angel Correa came in, they looked so good in the link up on the boxes and nearby, and Hermoso scored almost from that one of the passes, and it was a deflection.
Yes.
And also a little bit of luck. I think the Griezmann goal is a little bit of luck.
Yeah. Yeah, but still, like the game going on like over 100 minutes, it's
Obviously,
like
with the antics of Atletico, that's probably gonna what happen. With lots of injury time, lots of time wasting and stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah, it's true. But we like it's Porto versus Atletico Madrid. They would have actually loved to play probably like 2 3 hours. They would. I don't know.
Yeah, if it all decides on the 90 to 100 minutes, then what's the point of playing the 90
Yeah,
minutes? Just play that extra time. Uh,
yeah, true. But other than that, like I don't have anything to add because like I did not watch other
no,
games.
there's a lot of game, and I tried to watch a
Yeah.
highlight, and it didn't really seem to be. I
Like
mean,
even highlights are like too much to watch.
yeah,
Like
10,
so
15
many games.
minutes. There's so many games. Now I actually didn't even watch Bayer Leverkusen versus whoever they're playing. They lost.
Yeah, Leverkusen was awful, even since the start of the season.
Yeah, it's so yeah. It's I didn't actually watch a lot of other highlights too. There's too many things.
Yeah, but from uh, can we move to Europa League a little bit,
Sure.
or because there was a giant killing happen. I don't know, like if it's still giant killing. United lost against Real Sociedad.
It's not a giant killing, and but
It's not like
I've seen that.
no, given the form they have, like 4 match, 3 match unbeaten, and um, going at
But I thought it was a very harsh decision,
which one?
the penalty.
Against United. Yeah, yeah, it it was a little bit. It's sort of like a 50-50. It's like um,
He was so
still
close.
like normally players got a little bit benefit,
He was
but
he was so close, and he was already uh, it bumped on his thigh, and then it went into his hand. I mean, I don't know
yeah,
how he could have avoided it.
yeah, that's true actually. But mm, like given that like we have seen this sort of penalty was given in Champions League last season as well. So yeah, for English league probably because like they have like now so far I know that like there were meeting of before the season like they will let contract or these sort of things a little bit going or
No,
something
that
like that.
that reminds me of
But in
Antonio Conte's special comments about Premier League should learn how to run the VAR. Um,
Yeah, but in Champions League, it's a different situation. Like they don't normally give this sort of like last season. Probably there was like in one match, I guess against Real Madrid or someone else. Like there were like two handballs in the box, and both were actually given, and one was like really soft. I forgot actually Real Madrid or if someone else against. So I forgot the name of the team actually.
okay.
Sorry. But yeah, like in the same match, like there was like two handballs were given, and one of the them was like soft. So like in Champions League, it's a different issue, I guess. But United actually had some chance, and they had also woodwork, and one of the goals was cancelled due to offside. Ronaldo, I guess Ronaldo was playing a little bit better football now.
Now he's motivated, I guess.
Yeah, also like it's not like compared to last season. Even last season, even if he was scoring,
Was
he
not
was
playing
sort of
well.
like look. Yeah, he sort of looked alone in that team, but he's more like included in this team, and they could have actually win their game. But it's how can I say, like Sociedad actually was in the game all the time so far. So far I have seen.
Yeah, I think Sociedad is a good team. I mean, there's so many teams are chasing Champions League spot in Spanish Liga. Whenever ever we'll talk about it, but Sociedad is
Yeah.
one of them. Is uh,
No.
definitely doing well.
And they lost. They just lost one of their best player, but it doesn't seem like they lost anyone.
Well, I
It's
would
like
not even argue. I mean, maybe one of the best players, but again,
not
as
the best. But David Silva was a little bit different. He was uh, involved in more defensive action than he was involved in more attacking action,
yeah,
and he was tackling everyone, which is surprise is a little bit surprising to see.
yeah,
But
David's
it's good to see him back in England. Um, but yeah, they played well actually. Like they did the basic things and tried to hang on the game, and they squeezed something out of it. And I would say United a little bit lucky. Yeah, unlucky.
exactly. Uh, any other?
Um, Actually, Marquinhos from Arsenal scored, um,
I actually didn't
and
see any of the because it's again too many footballs.
yeah, I know. And every day there is something. Yeah, I just watched highlights and against Zurich. They actually there were like a sort of like a second team. Nketiah was there with what's his name, Vieira and Marquinhos. And Vieira actually played really well. And Martinelli was static, like his in his performance, and Lokonga was a little bit. I would say he's getting into that team. Um, I would say. But other than that, Marquinhos and Vieira played like really well. Marquinhos scored his first goal in his debut, um, which is like for a new player is some sort of like a ego boost.
Yep.
And Nketiah, I guess since Gabriel Jesus moved, I guess it actually helped Nketiah, even though he's not playing that much. But I guess he is mimicking some of his movement, Gabriel Jesus's movement. So it's in a way, it's a good start for them 2-1.
Yeah, it's just
But
I find um, Europa League is tricky because
yeah, and there are like so many teams. Like
and
I thought,
it always changes with each game goes on, right?
yeah, true. And I thought like Union Berlin will do well, and they got red carded and lost the game, like start of the game.
Yeah,
So Betis did well on 2-0. Freiburg also did well, but we don't know. Like after in the second round, we'll see some teams from the Champions League, like one of the teams from at least Inter or Barcelona will be there in the Champions League, or probably Bayern. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Uh, but
But hey, I actually forgot to mention, like, this group has like three treble winners. If you think about it,
uh,
uh, Champions League group, like,
oh, okay,
Bayern,
okay. Oh yeah,
Inter, and
Barcelona. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So it's a
Uh,
fun bit.
hope they can fit Tottenham somewhere.
Um, I don't know. Like, I don't have actually anything to add. Like, I haven't watched a conference league. There
No,
is another one. Nothing
uh,
much.
no. Anybody would be exploding if they're seeing it that long and non-stop talking of different games. But yeah, thank you for all the insights. And again, any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Uh, not really. If anyone is watching, I'd say if we are missing something or missed a game or something because we are only two people, like it's not possible for us to watch every matches.
Yeah,
So if you
we need
make a
more
request or
eyes,
something, yeah,
more
if
eyes
you
and more
need
times.
more, yeah, of course. And if anyone is watching and wants to share their opinion or something like that, will be here. Or maybe we will, I don't know, make some sort of contract or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. On that note, please subscribe the channel. Let us know how you're actually feeling about our conversations. If you don't let us know, we don't know what's going right, what's going not right. Yeah, other than that, thank you for watching, and keep that bell icon on your YouTube to make sure that whenever our videos are up, you get a see it. And yeah, thank you for watching.